Welcome back to Havana Media. My name is Boniface Owino, and as usual, I'm going to be your host for today. Now, I'm glad once again to have to host Professor Ogolla, and today I want us to talk about this issue of NANE NANE NANE. I'm being told that it's NANE maranne, the NANE mwezi wa nane, NANE 8 million, and then NANE tarehe nane, and then hiyo nane ingine Professor will explain. So I want Professor I just want us to jump into the discussion because we've been with Professor here, you know him. So jumping to our discussion, Prof.
Yes.
This issue of NANE NANE NANE.
Yes.
Yeah, you've told me that I was just thinking that it's hiyo NANE NANE like sabasaba tarehe nane mwezi wa nane. I was just thinking that maybe that is it. But you've told me that it's NANE 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 NANE.
Yes.
What does it mean?
NANE NANE means first of all ni tarehe nane mwezi wa nane tunataka milioni nane wakuwe hapo kwa siku nane. So NANE 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 NANE.
So you want it's tarehe nane.
Tarehe nane
mwezi wa nane.
Mwezi wa nane.
And then you want 8 million people.
Siku watu milioni nane.
And then for 8 consecutive days.
Yes. Now, the question there, which is easy, is that the 8 million is obvious that the more numbers you have, like the day we entered parliament, the number was highest. That's why we succeeded. Because we are looking at the security people versus the people.
Yeah.
Do you know that in Kenya, I don't want to mention the name, but we don't have so many military people the way you want. Somebody like Megona put it at around 25 to 26,000. Military officers. Police officers are also just around the same amount. Do you know that one policeman cannot control one person?
Can't.
During Mandamano, the ratio between the police and the people, we need more police for fewer people.
Yeah.
Because then they are armed. But for example, if it's just about investigating cases, then you need less police against the population. So doing Mandamano is not normal. So when we have 8 million people in town raging against the security operators, they cannot handle it. They completely cannot handle it. So that's why that number is important. I'm not saying we want to damage the country, but these people are peaceful. They come with their hands. Yeah. With nothing, with water, handkerchief,
with their phones,
flags, and their phones. So they have nothing to worry about. If those are the real protesters who entered parliament that day, then they are just easy to manage because they're not damaging anything. The damages have been brought later. For example, you saw people like the presidents are sponsoring people to come and say, we are standing with you, marching in 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Those are completely not Gen Zs. So why are they coming? Why do you need a government, people to demonstrate on behalf of the government? I've never heard anything like that. So I'm not saying we want to destroy our country. We just want to make people know that our message is clear. We have 8 million people sitting down, not even moving, on tarmac, just on their knees. Everybody on their knees in the CBD saying, Ruto must go. That's all we need. So that's why we want 8 million people. That will overwhelm the government, and they have to understand that 8 million people who are more than the voters who vote. That's why we talk about 8 million, because Ruto got 7.1 million votes. So if 8 million people can come to town, and we can count 8 million people coming back to reclaim their sovereignty, then the message will be clear. It's not about how much damage you want to do. We are not even saying going to State House, but we want 8 million people ready to kneel down and say, we are here to reclaim back our sovereignty. So that the president can know that this is a referendum already done physically. Hata kama ni mlolongo, itakuwa mlolongo. Why we want 7 days is...
the 8 days, yeah.
8 days.
Yeah.
Boniface, have you ever gone to a doctor and got medication? Why do you think doctors normally give you medication for 7 days or 8 days or for 1 week? There's what you call accumulated attack. You know, if you have malaria, with the first dose of the first day, you cannot get cured.
Yeah.
So you have to get the second dose. So through accumulated attack, the virus or the bacteria that is affecting your body can survive. You throw one bullet, then it shakes.
It shakes, yeah.
Then throw another one, it almost collapses. Then the third one, it falls down. Then it starts now rolling. Another one, then it's now start dying. Then the last one, then it dies. So we have to give a continuous dose without missing. That's why they tell you take it at lunchtime, take it in the morning, and take it in the evening. So we have to give it a continuous attack. Yes, that's why it's going to talk about NANE, 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 NANE.
And talking about the 8 million people.
Yes.
William Ruto was when William Ruto was becoming the president.
Yes.
He garnered how many votes? 7 million.
7.1.
7.1.
Raila got 6.9.
So if William Ruto got 7.1 million,
yes,
including the older people.
Yes.
Right now, of course, we know that old people cannot come on the streets.
They will not. We don't want them to.
They will not come. So automatically, we'll have Gen Zs.
Yes.
How sure are we that we'll manage to get these 8 million Gen Zs on the streets?
Why we are sure, but maybe not say the word sure. Why we think it is possible is that 81% of Kenyans have been polled, looking in TIFA polls, and they say they are with Gen Zs. So that's 81%. 81% of 53 million is what? So it has surpassed.
Yeah.
Someone saying that if William Ruto goes, then
what?
Happens?
Yeah.
I think for us, that's not our question. Those people are people who now are afraid of the outcome we are supposed to get. I'm also happy when Raila Odinga said that Ruto can be overwhelmed, then resign and go. It means that they have a feeling we can overwhelm them. I think that's advantage. Then secondly, I also heard William Ruto saying in Mombasa himself, not in Mombasa, he said it actually he said it when he was in Elgeyo Marakwet, that some of his friends had advised him to resign.
Yeah. He said
his friends, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm happy about that because I'm sure now that he's having real friends. I'm telling, if I'm him, those are his main friends. Those are the best friends.
The ones that are telling him the truth.
Yes, the ones who have told him the truth, he should resign. Because remember, even as Kenya Bora Chutakayo, where we have concerned citizens movement together, we have gone to court with a petition seeking the removal of the president and deputy president together because they have violated the constitution 31 times. And those are very serious grounds of violations. So I'm trying to say that for us, why we should not worry is that we cannot keep someone just worried about so what. Let me give an example. This is a false analogy, but it's true. If you have a girlfriend who is abusing you, or you are a woman with a boyfriend who is abusing you in a relationship, will you stop leaving them because you are afraid that if you leave them, then what happens? You remain single.
You can't die there.
You can't die there.
Yeah.
But even nature has it that I was born. My parents died when I was not even able to get work yet. How comes even in God can take away your parent when you are still too young? So some of these things are natural occurrences that William Ruto is the wrong president. So that is our focus. Our focus should not be who takes over. That's not our work. Because we are not talking about positions here should take over from what. We are not concerned. Only politicians are having fear of who will take over because they are afraid they cannot take over. If Raila Odinga was number 2 now, or William Ruto, and we are going for Mandamano that can make him resign, I'm sure he should be celebrating. Yeah. Do you know why Gachagua became very now happy and is back to government working close with William Ruto?
Because he knew that automatically if William Ruto resigns, he'll be the next.
He is a heartbeat away from presidency. Yeah. So he can just be patient there. The ones who feel they are so distant, they don't like it because they fear that somebody else will take over. Our work is not that we want to take over the government. Our main goal is the person who has been at the heart of police brutality, killings, abductions, mismanaging the economy, corruption, opulence, everything that goes with bad governance is William Ruto. So that's our focus now. We don't want to judge who will take over because when they come to take over again, we shall judge them based on what they have done. You can never always hate people by saying so and so cannot. Because even William Ruto, we are being told they cannot. The same Raila Odinga who is telling us now that Gachagua is worse than William Ruto, himself, he said Ruto was worse. And he said that he cannot even debate with him in presidential debate. He said he's a thief. He said that he's a killer. He said that he's a liar. He said he's a driver who do not know where even the gearbox is on the steering wheel. So the same person say Ruto actually is worse than Gachagua. Now today, Gachagua is worse than Ruto. No, so for us, we are not concerned about who is taking over. We are just concerned about who is there. And I can tell you, even if, for example, William Ruto resigns eventually because of this rage of NANE NANE NANE, you might even be happier because we have seen some leaders who are not very good before rising to an occasion and showing leadership in a crisis moment. You could see people like Uhuru Kenyatta. When his father died, he was very young. He was just crying. But after that, he discovered that the family has been left in his hands. And he rose to the occasion and became the president for 10 years. So at that time, when you saw Uhuru Kenyatta crying like a young boy when his father was dying, could someone think he could actually roll his sleeves and become president?
No one.
So why are we dismissing people? We want to know that not only one person can be president. This idea that if I go, no one can rule has been told to us by Moi. Moi told people, if I leave, who will become president? Museveni is telling people in Uganda the same narrative. It is being told in DRC as the same narrative. It was told by Mobutu Sese Seko. Paul Biya is telling them in Cameroon. Now, why are Gen Zs going to listen to these people? We are not going to listen to anybody. I can tell you, some of us, I'm sure that when you are a prefect in school, you people wonder now, if you leave, who will be there?
Who will be there, yeah.
If you're a football captain, if you leave, who will be there? Maybe me, I was a good striker. When I left, people have been striking. I was one of the best, the fastest sprinters in Kenya, I can tell you. I used to run for St. Mary's Yala. I have a lot of trophies and certificates. When I left St. Mary's Yala, somebody came up and has been running. When Diego Maradona was playing football, who will take over? When
like
you hear people,
Ronaldinho.
Ronaldinho, who will take over? Pele. Who would be Pele? But now we have Peles of today. So why are we trying to say that no one can rule? Just because you have not given Gachagua a chance, why are you dismissing him? I'm not saying I'm supporting Gachagua. I'm just trying to say for us, our enemy is not Gachagua. Our enemy is one William Ruto. So let's focus on that. Let us not waste time on who will take over. And in this way, you may find that God has made leaders to rise. God chose Moses to lead the Israelites from Egypt to Canaan. He didn't. Later, another leader emerged
Joshua.
who finished the journey. So even for us here, somebody can emerge and finish the journey. Like I'm trying to say here is let us not look down upon anybody. Anybody can lead. There's no scarcity of leaders in Kenya. And God will sort out that situation. And you'll be shocked that Kenya will be in good hands. But for now, we know that Kenya is in the wrong hands. Want to remove Kenya from the wrong hands and put Kenya on another hand. And then we might find out that maybe that's the right hand. But for now, Gachagua might come over. If he does not deliver, we should do the same thing. Gachagua must go. But already some people are saying that it's very clear to them when Ruto goes, Gachagua also must go. So people already seen that. So this Ruto must go is not about Ruto only. It's about Ruto plus Gachagua. That's why the petition we took to court is to remove Gachagua and Ruto, both of them individually and collectively out of office. Yeah. So that's why NANE NANE is important. And I want to say, instead of asking me, will we manage? Let's talk about the following. What is your role? Who is listening to me in ensuring we succeed? Don't tell me are we going to succeed? Me, I'm Fred Ogola. Me, I'm not 8 million people. As a Kenyan, are you happy in the direction the country is going? Do you believe that Ruto can take us to Canaan? And do you believe that by ODM joining the government, we'll have a solution sorted? And I want to tell you clearly why I'm also supporting NANE NANE. Let me give you a simple example, Boniface. As a leader, as an economist, if the Luo community is suffering, do you buy a Mercedes-Benz for a Luo leader or you buy a bus for the Luo community?
If the community is suffering, you work for the community first.
So if you get one of them and give them a CS position, who will be running with Mercedes-Benzes and big cars on the road? You've not
solved the problem.
If the Luo people are suffering, do you give one of them a Mercedes-Benz?
No.
If the coastal people are suffering, do you give one of them a Mercedes-Benz?
No.
as a development economist, we go to what helps the community. For example, clean, adequate, affordable, reliable water is a problem in Kenya, isn't it? By giving someone a CS position of water does not solve it. Do you know that Joho now has been proposed as CS for mining and blue economy?
Yeah.
Do you know that there have been more positions from Coast Province, people becoming ministers of that position, and they have never solved the issue of blue economy? Ministers of lands have been in the government of Kenya from Coastal Province. Even they talk about the National Land Commission have come from Coast Province, and the land issue still exists. So people are looking for title deeds. They're not looking for minister for lands. Anybody can solve it working for a government. So these things of creating positions for communities is an old political ideology. In fact, for me, that's why I'm even sad, because we are back to where we were 50 years ago, where you award kingpins, you award tribal leaders, isn't it? But ignore community. According to me, Ruto should solve this problem more easily. Just go to his manifesto and look for what he can implement and tell us, from my manifesto, this one was a lie, this was true. Let me implement this one and ignore that one. Job creation. When you see him walking from State House to read a list, he created jobs for people who have been there.
Yeah.
Oparanya was a minister in Kibaki's government. You see that?
Yeah.
And he did the 10 years. Then after that, Oparanya became a governor for 10 years. Now he's going to be a CS. Young people, you went to the street and shed blood. Then somebody who has been CS for 10 years,
It's coming back again.
governor for 10 years, is coming back again. Joho was a governor for 10 years.
14 years.
It's coming back. Mbadi has been an MP for years, isn't it? And he was even nominated MP, given for free. He never worked for it. Then another is being given a CS. You go to this other guy, Wandai.
Yeah.
He has enjoyed everything. ODM, minority leader. Everything for him is insured, including his eyelids, eyelashes, all of them insured. You know that? They insure your teeth, your ear,
Everything.
your eyes, your nose, everything.
Now, Professor, just last question. But before I ask this question, the schedule, I think, let me call it the schedule.
Yeah.
The schedule for NANE NANE is out.
Yeah.
And this is what it's saying. That this is the NANE NANE March timetable.
Yes.
6:30 a.m. Rise and shine for freedom. That means that on this day, people wake up in the morning like never before at 6:30. And then after waking up at 6:30, around 7 a.m., mass convergence. As dawn breaks, in Nairobi will witness streets flood. Let me just read it well. As dawn breaks, Nairobi will witness streets flooding with a sea of patrols like never seen before. Every town from Kitengela, Ruiru, Rongai, Githurai, Mlolongo, Juja, Kangemi, Ngong to Kibera, Mathare, South B, Utawala, Kawangware, and beyond. Every corner of Nairobi, every neighborhood, every suburb. Now, at 9 a.m., mass assembling in CBD. Now this when the real demonstration starts.
Yes.
At 9 a.m.
Yes.
Now, by 9 a.m., they're saying that we will be shoulder to shoulder in CBD. Look around, comrades. The city is ours. Our song and dance will echo through the heart of Nairobi. We will stand firm, display our banners, wave our flags, and let the whole world see the strength of our unity. At 2 p.m., ultimatum to the president. We will deliver a decisive 1-hour ultimatum for President William Ruto to resign. If our demands are ignored, we will start marching towards State House. At 3 p.m., march to State House. From CBD to State House, our path will be clear and our numbers unstoppable. And then to the police and military. We are not your enemies. We are citizens demanding justice. Lay down your weapons, and if you can, join us in our fight for a better Kenya. So my question is...
Hallelujah.
Prof, my question is, do you think it is easy to become a president?
Well, it's not. But these are duties that are, it's a high calling.
Mm.
That's why not everybody can be president.
Yeah.
And not everybody desires to become president. But it is easy to become president if you mean well for the people.
Mm.
When you don't want to follow the right thing, it becomes difficult.
Mm.
Let me tell you what. Is it easy to be a husband? Yes and no.
Yeah.
If you want to be the right husband who is not cheating, no mpango wa kando, not siphoning money that should help the family to be used for other things, then it's difficult because you have to keep your phone, you have to lie, to keep your wife at home, you have to lie to your children. I had gone to visit your grandmother.
Yet you did not go.
Yet you did. So it is difficult to do the wrong thing. It's easier to do the right thing. Was it easier for Kibaki? Yes, it was. Was it easier, for example, to Julius Nyerere? Yes, it was. And it was fun.
To Magufuli.
To Magufuli.
Yeah.
But when you want to mislead people, you are running a country on behalf of somebody else, not on behalf of Kenyans. Your allegiance that you took to office was for Kenyans, but you are giving allegiance to somebody else. Then it becomes difficult. If you want to be a president who does not want to allow people to do their work and let them be paid for their work, you hire a minister, then you work for them. You hire PS, you work for them, then pay them. Now they have a lot of time to steal money.
Because they don't have anything to do.
They have nothing to do.
Yeah.
They are being caught in very compromising situations, in consultation with the people. This way, it's easy to become president. But if you are a president who is not following that, then your work becomes very hard because you are trying to do something which has never been done before. Yeah.
So, Prof, what is your last word concerning this issue of the NANE NANE movement?
My last word
to the Gen Zs and also perhaps to the president?
Let me start with the Gen Zs because I'll address the president last.
Okay.
Not because the president is more important, just because, first of all, I want to focus my energy on what matters.
Yeah.
I don't care about the president much. I care more about the country. Yeah. But I'm not just addressing Gen Zs. I'm just addressing even Kenyans who have the Gen Z spirit. Yeah. So my message to you, the Gen Z is this. Do not give up, because if you do not overturn Ruto government today, it will be harder tomorrow. And the more you wait, he's hardening. If you wait for a tree to capture more roots, like now he's bringing ODM, he's trying to do this, it won't work. Hard. I don't have a problem with Raila Odinga. But as Raila Odinga as a politician, we know he also has goons. He has Baghdad boys. Raila Odinga, I've been your supporter since I was born. My mother voted for you throughout her life, my father. Myself, I voted for you since I ever knew how to vote. Please, keep the goons away from the Gen Zs. You are going to be against these kids. They love you. They call you Baba. When you're a father, you cannot unleash snakes on your children. They're asking for bread and fish. That's all we're asking for. We're asking for just bread and fish. Just give them bread and fish. Don't unleash terror on them. And I want to tell you, I would like a country to be liberated. But the persons in the office there listens only to peaceful protests. So that is the only way for now. Let it be peaceful. Let it be non-violent. Let us just come unarmed. Let's not have intention to destroy any property, steal anything from anybody. We cannot steal from ourselves, because when you steal money, you're not stealing from the president. You're stealing money from a fellow Kenyan who has a shop. Don't destroy anybody's business. That is a Kenyan who is innocent like you. The person we have a problem with is one William Ruto. We have no problem with any other Kenyan, but we don't have a problem with him as a person. We have a problem with him as a head of state. The day he leave office, we'll have coffee with him. We'll embrace him. But we shall have to go forward without him, because he's not taking us there. He's at the seat. We have seen no sign. And I want to tell you something I've done, Boniface. In decision making, I'm an expert in decision making. Actually, I'm a professor of decision making. I've helped so many people make very crucial decisions. I want to share with you one thing. It's called a sleep test. You know what a sleep test is?
Unless you tell me.
When you want to make a decision, you do a sleep test. Let's say, for example, You sleep and said, President William Ruto is the president until 2027. Will you catch a sleep? If you find you can't sleep, wake up and come for NANE NANE NANE, isn't it? If you can't sleep with the sleep test I've just said, you close your eyes and say, oh my God, William Ruto is the president until 2027. If you feel peaceful, sleep and don't come. When you feel raged, come out. Ask yourself, Raila Odinga and ODM has joined Ruto. Sleep again. Feel if that looks right. If that feels right, if you sleep, don't come. If you still feel it does not feel right, come out. Thank you. That's all. I'm the president. It's a president. Leadership is given. It's given by the people. Of course, some people say it's taken. No, it's not taken. It's given by the people. It's delegated power. These people delegated power to you. They have told you they do not want you to continue being their president. So 2 options. Why don't you call for a snap election so that you can go back and look for your mandate? Should they elect you back, then we believe that they still want you to be president. But now they are saying no. The only way to check is either call for a snap election so that we can actually be able to give you that mandate back if we feel that we can trust you. But if we don't, we send you home and put somebody there. Continue staying in power is damaging the economy, which is a country you love. If you're a statesman, please stand down on the thing you have in Gen Z. Stand down, accept the revolution has taken place. A revolution, as I said before, spares no general. In fact, if you bring other generals like Mbadi or Piowandai or together. Paranya, you will still go down with them. Utanguka now. Thank you.
Wow. That was so powerful. Especially the part of Raila Odinga. It's really touching.
That?
The Raila Odinga's part, that he should just stay humble. Let him just leave the Gen Zs to do their work.
Yeah, because you see, these are his children and
they love him.
They love him.
In fact, they're the ones who call him Baba.
Yes. We call you Baba. I cannot raise a hand against my father. In fact, I've been telling Gen Zs, don't salemia Raila. He's your father.
Yeah.
He's done his part. Don't destroy it now. In fact, for me, if my father is old, even if he is urinating on a trouser, still respect him. Yeah. But let him not interfere with our life now. So, according to me, Baba, be Baba. Yeah. If you give us a snake, you'll cease to be a father. Because the Bible says, there is no father who gives a snake to children
as fish
when they ask for fish. Yeah. If you give us a snake on NANE NANE, tutajua, you have ceased to be Baba.
The only way to know that a woman had got a husband is when a child is born. Until we meet again, I've been your host, Boniface Owino. Bye-bye.